So as we've received news of Queen Elizabeth II's passing, and the world is reflecting on her life and legacy and character, I've been thinking a lot about my own extraordinary encounter with Queen Elizabeth back in 2003. I was a student here at the University of Central Florida's Burnett Honors College, and I was privileged to become the first Rhodes Scholar from UCF in 2002. That meant that I matriculated at the University of Oxford for my graduate studies in September of 2003. And that was a wonderful coincidence because it coincided with the 100th year anniversary of the Rhodes Scholarships. And on the occasion of that centenary, Queen Elizabeth II invited all the incoming Rhodes Scholars to Buckingham Palace for a special reception. At Buckingham Palace, I was able to meet the Queen, as well as Prince Philip and Nelson Mandela. And I'll save for another time my stories about meeting Mandela and Prince Philip. But let me focus in on my extraordinary meeting with Queen Elizabeth II. As we gathered in the reception hall at Buckingham Palace, the students and their spouses in some cases, we all sort of formed natural conversation circles. And I noticed that Queen Elizabeth was expert. She was adroit at going from circle to circle, suddenly appearing where she was least expected, and asking very charming questions of everyone who was in the reception hall. In fact, I heard her as she passed near me. She was asking, "Oh, and what are you studying at the University of Oxford? And what's it like to come here as the partner of a Rhodes Scholar? What are you going to do with your time? Or how do you find England so far? Are you enjoying yourself?" And she went around the room like this. And then suddenly she appeared in my little conversation circle. And she asked the young man on my right what he was going to study as a graduate student at Oxford. And then she turned her attention fully on me. And it was probably my nerves, but I felt in that moment, which seemed to last a small eternity, that she wasn't asking me anything. She was just looking expectantly, as if I should tell her something. And so I uttered the most profound statement that came to my mind. I said, "Your Majesty, I also have a corgi like yours." And she brightened. She seemed to take interest in what I had said. In fact, she took a step closer and she said, "Oh, really? And what is its name?" Well, this was a rather difficult question because, as it happened, my corgi was named after one of the most infamous villains of British history, a villain who tried to commit regicide by blowing up the Houses of Parliament, Guy Fawkes. You see, my corgi was born on Guy Fawkes Day, but I couldn't lie to the Queen and I couldn't invent in the moment an alternative name, so I just blurted out, "Your Majesty, his name is Guy Fawkes." Well, ever diplomatic, the Queen answered, "That's a wonderful name for a corgi, just splendid." And I said, "Well, yes, and especially as their features are so very fox-like." Well, the Queen chuckled, as only a true corgi lover would, and then she disappeared into the crowd. And I didn't see the Queen again until the royal entourage departed that evening. Well, now I'm back at the University of Central Florida after being the guest of Queen Elizabeth, resident in the UK for 15 years, studying and teaching at the University of Oxford and the University of London. And now I'm back because I want to help our students today to have similar, exhilarating international experiences. So I tried to coach students who are applying for the most competitive international scholarships, the Rhodes Scholarship, the Mitchell, Marshall, Gates, Cambridge. All of these scholarships that will allow our students an open door to these kind of extraordinary encounters.